chai cheers.
A chai cheers.
Cheers, biggies.
Do I have big ears?
Stunning. Yeah. No, I'm joking.
Oh, God.
Bilbo Baggins. Do you know what? I actually love this. This is so nice.
What is it?
Chai tea.
Yeah, the chai.
Yeah.
Chai tea?
Would you call it chai tea?
That's like calling it TT.
Tea. Oh, chai means tea.
Chai means...
Stop.
You didn't know
Sim,
that?
I didn't know this.
Oh my God.
I'm thoroughly embarrassed.
Okay, so chai is basically tea in Hindi, but I'm Punjabi, so I call it cha.
Cha.
Yeah, but it's widely known as chai.
Okay.
So when people say chai tea, especially Indians,
You get really annoyed.
I'm just like,
What are you doing? You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, would you like some tea?
So I what's a titty?
It means tea.
You want some titty?
Okay, that's not for this podcast.
No. So I thought chai was like the seasoning. Yeah, I thought it was like the seasoning that's in it, like the mix of cinnamon and nutmeg and all that.
We have so much to teach
So I thought
you.
it was like seasoning plus tea.
That's actually really sweet.
Yeah, oh thanks.
Do you know what seasonings go into it?
Okay, so cinnamon,
Okay.
nutmeg,
Okay.
and I want to say cardamom.
Right.
What's that thing? It's like an anise. No, it's like a little star seed.
Star anise.
Star
Yeah.
anise.
Yeah.
Is that in it?
So people make theirs differently. I put cloves in mine.
Oh, nice. It's very Christmassy.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
Christmassy.
it reminds me of those Christmas spices.
That's actually well done, you. I'm
Yeah.
really impressed.
I'm good with seasonings.
are.
Okay, I
You're
might
really,
be
really
right, but
good.
I know my shit. I'm not just a salt and pepper gal.
Yeah.
I do know some things.
You know, once we were making tea for some Indian guests that had come over, and we've got this thing called a loonki. It's basically the spice box,
Okay.
and it's right under where the stove is.
Right.
And we were so tired from like entertaining guest after guest that my sister opened that drawer and opened it up and like took some of the salt. And was about to put salt into the tea because she just wasn't thinking and thought she was putting sugar into the tea. Like, even though you're supposed to put a tiny bit of
Stop.
salt sometimes in tea, in
Yeah,
Indian tea,
yeah.
she put the whole thing. She was about to put it in. I was like,
You're drinking blood.
I know. Could
You know
you
in the
imagine
movies
if
they're
we
like-
served them salty tea?
Oh my God.
So this is the first time you're having masala chai.
Yeah.
So the masala is the spice.
Okay.
Spice mix. That's what
I
it is.
really like it. So when I go to Pret or
Yeah.
Starbucks, I get a chai. They call it a chai tea latte.
Yeah, you know, I
So
don't
don't
get
even know.
it.
That doesn't even make sense.
Doesn't make
then.
sense at all. Doesn't make sense.
And
Okay, so I
that's
get-
more coffee based, but it doesn't really have coffee in it. It just
Is it
almost
coffee
tastes.
based?
Yeah, because
Chai
it's
tea
chai
latte?
latte. Yeah, but it's like, well, I actually don't know what I'm talking about, to be honest. But it's like tastes more like a latte than tea. It doesn't taste like this. It's thicker.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
quite
heavier
a milky
milk.
tea.
But this is more like breakfast tea, but it's got the spices in.
Yeah, so when
Yeah.
I go to like Pret and stuff, like I never actually get it from Pret. I get it from Starbucks if I have to. Like
Okay.
if I'm dying for.
What do you think tastes the most like authentic?
None of them.
Not
Honestly, none
this
of them.
westernised
The one that I got for
bullshit.
you from India.
Slay. We're really on brand today.
Oh my God, no, it's so tasty.
Please stock me up. 'Cause
Really?
I want to like sit on my sofa, like blankets, watching Harry Potter and like with my chai.
Oh, okay, I'll get you. I
Yeah.
got you.
I'm gonna have to
I got
educate
you.
my sister now because she thinks it's called TT as well.
No, I
it's
don't
called chai
blame you
tea.
guys because that's how they advertise it.
What I was gonna say is, I saw in your story
What?
you went to a wedding this
Yeah.
week.
When am I not at a wedding?
Exactly, when you're not. So you need to explain
I've been
firstly.
to weddings since I was
MUA.
a little fetus
That's
in
wild.
my mother's womb.
How many weddings do you think you've ever been to?
What, personally?
No, just overall.
Overall, I've had 200 this year.
This year?
Yeah, I've had 200 because I work at weddings.
You've been to 200 weddings?
I've had 204 weddings this year.
That's wild. So how many a week is that? Must be like at least 3 a week. I can't do the maths, but
I don't know. No, because it's not like
It's not the same day every week.
So like sometimes I'll do like 4,
Sorry, I just
maybe
burped.
5 days. Oh,
I
God,
did a
here we-
chai burp. Yummy.
We're gonna get compilation of those.
It's a chai burp, so it was spicy.
Yeah, sometimes it's like 4 or 5 times a week, and sometimes
Wow.
it's like 2 or 3 times a day. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
So like I'll do a wedding in the morning, and then I'll do like something else in the evening.
And you wake up so early. Like,
I
what
wake up
time
at
do you have to go sometimes?
Sometimes I need to be there at like 3 o'clock in the morning, because they need to be ready from 3 by 6:37ish.
So how long does it take to like do their makeup, hair, everything? Because 3 a.m. seems very early.
It is really early.
What time does the ceremony start?
So they need to be ready by like 6:37 to have their photos done, and then they need to get to this temple
Yeah.
before the other side gets to the temple, so they can sneak into the room and like hide.
And they're not allowed to be seen
Yeah.
until the ceremony.
Yeah. Otherwise, like
Wow.
they're more Sikh weddings, but Hindi weddings start a bit later, so it's
Okay.
not too bad. But then I get a nap in the middle.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. What, in the hotel room?
I have my own hotel room, or if I'm
Stunning.
at home, then I go home.
I
But-
love that though.
Yeah.
Like that's needed. Imagine if you were there and you had nowhere to stay and you've got all your like MUA equipment.
I know.
And then you're just like back in your car having a nap. Like that's not cute.
You know,
like, it's
I've-
good they look after you.
I have to say, all my clients are so nice. They always
Yeah.
look after me. They feed me. They're like, sleep in my room if you want to sleep somewhere.
Oh,
And they're so considerate.
that's
Even though like
really
I've got a
nice.
hotel like 5-10 minutes away, they're like, just don't go, just stay here. It's fine. And
That's so nice.
And they bring food up to the room as well. A lot of them do. Yeah, so I get to
Really?
eat all this yummy Indian food.
That's so sweet.
It's so nice, but again, dairy free. It's all like yogurt based and stuff. So it's,
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
you
to
know
be
for
really
breakfast it'll be
careful.
like yogurt and granola or something, and you just can't even have
What?
that. Yogurt and granola.
what, for an Indian wedding?
Sorry,
No, mate. Do you want parathas?
I'm talking English
Oh,
weddings.
English, is it? They give
Yeah.
out breakfast at English
Yeah,
weddings?
sometimes. Well, no, to be fair, I was a bridesmaid, so
Okay.
obviously got special treatment. But we
Aw.
had like yogurt granola. You know, like at Pret, they have those little
They
yogurt
gave out
pots.
bread granola pots.
No, it was like that. It wasn't
Oh,
the Pret ones, but it's
yeah.
like granola, yogurt, and then the compote, like raspberry compote.
Yeah.
That'd be breakfast, and then some croissants, and then for lunch. So this would be the snack for lunch. Very different to you. Be like little finger sandwiches.
Huh?
So it'd be like-
Lunch?
yeah, I feel like this is pre walking down the aisle.
Okay. So like a
Yeah.
snack. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
like a
That's
snack.
fine.
But be like finger sandwiches, ham, cheese, maybe coronation chicken,
Right, I'm done.
maybe prawn and mayo.
Coronation chicken. Doesn't that have raisins in it?
Yeah. And what some people might say curry seasonings, but it's so inauthentic. It's not. I wouldn't even say that. Like it's literally just
Are
English.
you trying to offend me?
No, it's literally. It is offensive that people call it curry chicken.
seasoning?
Yeah, it's not. It's
What's
not
in
even curry
that?
seasoning. I think they literally just put cumin in it and maybe like
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
maybe like a tandoori spice, but that's it. If you're lucky. And it's like mayo. What's actually in it? It's like chicken, and then the sauce is like
tandoori
mayo.
mayonnaise.
No, I feel like they add cumin and then maybe like a tandoori spice.
Yeah. Into what?
Like
A yogurt base, maybe.
into mayo.
Mayo.
Into mayo.
Stop it.
And then you add cold chicken and then raisins. And then that's the filling for a sandwich. Have you never heard of this?
No.
I don't like it. I think it's vile. It's just not, it's not right. It's not done right. Like, why are you adding mayo and cumin? I don't want it. I don't
oh
want
my
it.
god, it sounds
Just take that back,
horrific.
please.
Sounds horrific.
Yeah.
What do we
but-
take it back? We don't want it back, mate. I
No,
think
I'm
that's a
saying
UK thing.
to the bride giving it to me. Take it back.
I thought you meant take it back to India.
Are you joking me? As if. Who do you think I am?
Oh my god.
But
that's
yeah, so
funny.
you've been to 200 weddings this year.
Just this
I
year.
have been to 2 in my lifetime.
What?
In my lifetime.
2?
Do people hate me? I don't really know because I'm so fun. I don't know why I'm not
Oh
getting
my
more
God.
invites. It's a bit
Oh.
offensive, really.
Yeah, but you're also really young and your friend circle hasn't
Yeah.
got married yet.
So none of my close friends have got married yet. Even my family friends, none of them have got married yet.
yeah.
The only weddings I've been to is my cousin,
Yeah.
who was last year. Best wedding I've ever been to.
Really?
You're welcome. But I mean, I've only been to 2.
Yeah.
But still, it was the best wedding. Like,
I've ever been to.
honestly, you're welcome. It was like one of the best days of my life, though.
Oh,
like, it
that's
was
so
unreal.
sweet.
And then the other one was like my mum's friend. It was
Yeah.
still cute, but it wasn't a massive one. So my cousin's one was massive.
Yeah.
So in terms of
What's massive?
traditions, there was probably like 150 people.
That's an intimate Indian wedding.
Pardon? I thought 150 was a lot.
On average, an Indian wedding, I would say it's around 400 or 500 people.
Stop.
Easily.
How do you know that many people?
I don't know that many people.
Who did you invite then?
Like
Did
my
you-
parents would. So for me, I was okay because I was the third daughter getting married.
Nice. So there's not so much pressure.
Not too much pressure, but at the same time, with Indian weddings, it's not about the couple, and it's sad.
Okay, it's more
very
about the
sad.
celebration.
It's more about celebrations of 2 families joining together, and I know that's going
Right.
to trigger a lot of people. But if you just understand that is what it's about when it comes to Indian weddings,
Yeah.
and just try and center it around what you want, you'll realise that all these weddings that you and your family have been to in the past, they kind of want to give back to everybody whose weddings that they've been to.
That's
so
nice.
they feel, say your parents have been invited to my parents' wedding,
Yeah.
then my parents would be invited to your parents' wedding.
Yeah, you like give back.
Yeah, it's like a give back.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I feel like in Indian culture, we like to give back.
And that's why you then rack up so many invites, because you've been to so many, so you have to invite back.
And then imagine, like, when your parents' age, your like your cousins are getting married.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to your age group, they're not your direct cousins. They're your, is it second cousins?
Yeah, second cousins.
Yeah, so you'll have so many more people
many.
naturally. And then they have partners, and then they have children.
And then they have a wedding, and it just goes on and
so
on.
it just goes bigger and
Do
bigger
you
and
think
bigger.
it's bad if someone has invited you to their wedding, you've gone, you've attended, got everything, then it's come to your wedding like 3 years later and you don't invite them?
Oh,
I feel like there's a lot of factors here.
Oh, there are a lot of
factors.
Because
if you fall out, obviously you're not going to invite them. If you're not as close anymore, you wouldn't want to invite them, but they could probably be really offended because they're like, you came to my wedding, why am I not coming to yours?
You know, there's a lot of that. There is so much of that in our culture. Like,
really?
They might not talk to each other because they've fallen out, but if you don't invite them to your wedding, then that is basically like you're killing them off. Do you know what I mean?
You've ordered a hit on them.
Exactly. They might as well be dead. You know
Oh
what
my
I mean?
God.
It's that dramatic.
So if
in our
you'd fallen
culture.
out, you'd basically still have to invite them to your wedding.
Most people actually do. Just because, like, say, you're friends with a family and then you might have fallen out with one of the siblings.
Yeah.
Some people, just to keep the peace, invite all of them.
Yeah.
Which I don't get.
So there's not
and I
beef
don't
or
agree
drama.
with, but I do understand where it's coming from.
Yeah. That's tough.
It is. It's really tough.
Yeah, but I'm thinking it's awkward. Like if you hadn't fallen out, but you've just distanced, and you don't feel close to that person enough anymore to have them at your wedding.
You know,
but then you did go to theirs.
Yeah, but I think you don't owe anyone an explanation.
It's true. It's your wedding at the end of the day.
It's your wedding.
And you want to be as comfortable as you are. You want everything to be how you want it to be.
Yeah.
So if you don't want them there, like, I feel like you just have to be honest and say, I don't feel like we're as close anymore. It doesn't feel...
Why would you have to? Who are you explaining yourself to?
To the person, because they might be like, why am I not invited to your wedding?
But why would that person feel entitled to ask you for
Some
an invite?
people...
Do you know what I mean?
True.
I
feel like
that's
some
so
people
rude.
could, though.
That is so rude.
But what if they think you're really close, but you've kind of distanced yourself? That's what I'm saying. Then they'd be like, why have you not invited me? Like, I thought we were still close. But you feel personally like you've drifted off. Then you'd have to explain. Yeah, then you'd have to be
I thought you meant if you're not talking.
Oh, no. Yeah. It's just like, you're still close, but you're not besties. You're like just friends. You see each other like once a year, maybe.
I'm not going to lie. I have some family members who I'm not super close to, so I wouldn't go to their weddings.
Yeah.
Even though we're blood related and we're quite closely related.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's fair. I don't really want to go somewhere where I'm not comfortable.
Yeah.
So you have to go after yourself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they have to pay for an extra plate.
Exactly.
And if you're not talking to them,
it feels wrong.
I would
feel
wrong.
If I wasn't close to them, I wouldn't want to go.
Yeah, on some of the occasions, I've not gone to some people's weddings because I feel it's wrong that I'm not talking to them and I'm eating their wedding food. Like, that's so weird.
And like, you're celebrating their new life as a couple, but you're probably not even going to be in that new life because you're not even that close.
I know. Some people I haven't seen for like 10 years.
Oh my God.
What I mean?
That's wild.
It's weird. The expectation is unreal.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But that's the thing. If you're thinking typical English wedding, which will probably be like 100 people.
Yeah.
Compared to yours, that's obviously quite intimate then. And that's another thing. Do you invite work friends to a wedding? Because, right, I feel like as a generation... What would you say?
Colleagues.
Yeah, colleagues. I feel like my generation...
call everybody your friends, but then you separate them according to where you know them?
Yes.
That is so cute!
It kind of depends, yeah. Like, when I was working at my last place,
Yeah.
I was definitely friends with, like, all my managers and stuff.
So you used to see them
They're
outside
still my
of work
friends.
hours?
Yes, like we'd go for dinners and
Wow.
stuff, yeah.
That's cute.
And now that I'm not there anymore, we still meet up.
Yeah.
So
I have
I
that
said
with
to
some of my
them, I would
old
invite you to my
colleagues as well.
wedding. So I feel like my age, Gen Zs, have you heard of them?
No.
Are you a boomer?
Boomer! Wow!
Jake,
Right.
before you behead me.
Wow.
Sorry, millennial over here.
Before I uninvite you to my wedding.
So Gen Z's, right,
Yeah.
I'm sure you know, we seem to like jump to job to job more. So instead of being at like the same job for 10 years, it's more like we do 2 years at a job, move to the next company, 2 years, next company.
Which I think is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get more money.
Yep.
Love it. Climb up that ladder.
Yep.
Thank you. So that's what we seem to do. Therefore,
can I just say, sorry to cut you off, I think millennials are actually really bitter about this fact that Gen Zs do this.
Do you think?
I
Because
think
we
so.
figured it out.
It's not even you figured it out. We knew all along that that's how you should do it.
But you couldn't implement that.
I would say we didn't implement it because we felt almost like a loyalty towards the company, which I'm not saying that Gen Z don't feel that way, because I do think they do feel like they are loyal to a company, but they also put themselves first much more than millennials do. And I think that's where the bitterness comes from. Yeah. But anyway, like you were saying.
But also, timing of COVID.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was shockingly awful, disgusting, worst time ever. It was
you
really.
missed out on some good years of your life, man.
Like
what,
uni.
Oh
yeah,
my
it was
God,
my first
uni
year.
at home.
Yeah, so it was what? It was February of my first year, so I've been there a few months.
Yeah.
I literally remember being in halls and they were like, lockdown, you've got to go home. My dad came and rescued me.
Oh.
Yeah, out of my tower. I went,
Rapunzel,
let down your hair. I went, get here, little man, take me home. So, second year, basically a whole of second year, I was at home.
Yeah.
And then third year was my placement. And then suddenly final year. So, final year was like my proper year at uni, which is so weird.
How was that?
It was good. It was really weird going back after doing a placement.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't talk about this. When you go and do a placement and you've worked at somewhere for a year, you feel so invested in that company and you feel like you properly work at this place. Like, that is your job.
Yeah.
Like, when I was working there, I felt like I was going to be working there for years. Obviously, I knew it ended after a year.
Yeah.
But I was so invested in that role. Then suddenly you have your 4-month summer, slay. And then going back to uni, it just felt like you're like winding back the clock. It just felt like you were going back in time.
Yeah.
And it felt like I'd almost undone like everything I'd learned in that last year
backwards.
almost. Yeah, going backwards and suddenly seeing like the older people and just being back in that environment at uni. I was like, this is so weird. I felt like I was almost in the real world.
Yeah.
My work was going out into the real world. I was seeing it on billboards, like at events and at premieres and stuff. But then I've suddenly gone back to uni, which is this bubble of you do your essays, you send it to a person, it gets marked, come back. No one like knows what you're doing almost.
I don't know how people do placement years. I didn't do one, and it is a good idea.
It's the best thing I've ever done, though.
Is it?
There's no way I'd take that back.
But the reason I think it's something that I wouldn't do is because, like you said, you go out into the real world and then you feel like you're going backwards again.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could go back to studying. I know I cannot go back to studying like a uni kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love learning, but hands-on, doing it in something which is like productive.
Yeah.
But going back to you, what were you saying about the...
Yes. Oh, yeah, going from job to job.
Yeah.
So if you're staying somewhere for like 2 years every time...
Yeah.
Are you getting that close with your friends, your work colleagues? Probably not. Therefore, are you going to invite all of them to your wedding? Because if I've gone job to job for like 6 years, I've probably got like 50 work colleagues. I can't invite them all to my wedding.
Yeah, but you must be closer to some than others.
This is the thing with wedding invites, okay?
Ooh.
I love how I've just thought about planning my wedding when it's like 10 years down the line.
10 years
Groups, right?
Groups.
You know how in like girl friendships, people are almost grouped off. So I have a lot of individual friends.
Yeah,
same. But I also have friends that like, you know, when you say, oh, I can't just invite her because I'd have to invite the other.
Okay, you know what you're going down the path is, I think this is one of the biggest mistakes. One of the biggest things that go wrong at weddings is bridesmaids, picking bridesmaids.
Yes.
Oh,
and do you know what it is? I think it is... You kind of just have to be ruthless and be like, it's my wedding, I don't give a fuck. Because...
It's not like you don't give a fuck, though.
No, but it's like you end up... You might choose someone because you feel bad. Like, you feel like, oh, I want her to be my bridesmaid, but if she is, then the other one has to be my bridesmaid.
Yeah.
To please them. But then you're like, I actually don't want that second girl as my bridesmaid. I just want the first one.
Yeah.
So you can just be like, oh, I'll just allow it and have them too. But you don't really want the second one. It's just because they come as a duo. So that's what I'm saying. I think you just kind of have to be ruthless and be like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. It's my wedding. It's the only time I'm getting married. Sorry, I just want you. You can come to the wedding, but you're not going to be my bridesmaid.
What does it entail to be a bridesmaid? Because I didn't have any for this very reason. Because I was having a destination wedding, so I didn't want anyone to pay extra money to be in a bridal party and go out of their way to go maybe away for the weekend or even abroad with a group of people they don't know.
Yes.
And they might not even get along with. And then you're asking them to pay money for this.
Yeah.
And I think that is really unfair.
That's the thing. If you're having a destination wedding, obviously everyone's money situation is different, but I
Yeah.
think if it was me, I'd want to be in a position where I have enough money that I could pay for like my closest friends and family to fly out and or stay somewhere.
Oh.
Because if people can't afford it but you really want them to come,
Yeah.
how sad would that be? Imagine if your best friend couldn't come because she couldn't afford it at the time.
I know.
I would want to be able to get, but then I mean realistically,
it's not even realistically. A lot of people, and I can only say this because I've been to so many weddings in Asia. A lot of people in Asia, they actually pay for all of their friends and family to come to the wedding, and then they pay for their hotel stay.
wow.
They pay for the entire 3 days.
How are
of
they
the-
getting all this money?
And these people
That
in
must be
Asia
so
are-
expensive.
Honestly.
How much do you think an average like South Asian wedding costs?
Oh my god, it varies. Like I would
Really?
say usually minimum, I would say around 50, 60 minimum.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
And that's like a really intimate 100 people wedding. Not
so
even.
these 400 people,
But, like,
they must be 100k.
You know, I've had some people ask me, like, if we're going to do a destination wedding and I've got around 75, 80, 90k to spend, where would you recommend to do it? That we can have this kind of budget. Clothes,
do people
jewelry-
ask you?
Yeah.
I love that.
I
You're now like
I should
wedding
capitalise
guru.
on this.
You should. This could be another side hustle.
I know. Talking
Anyway,
about
and
what
wedding
you
guru.
expect your friends to pay for, I have a story.
Go.
A good friend is getting married next year and is hosting an out-of-town bachelorette party. The
Nice.
party requires I buy a ticket, take 3 days off work. I'm in the wedding party, but I can't really afford the trip, and taking time off work is difficult for me. I'm already spending hundreds on the dress, shoes, a hotel for the wedding, as it's in a state that I'll have to stay on site for, and for all of the events that she's planning for the weekend of. Am I being unreasonable for declining the bachelorette party? I won't give details, but it promises to be an expensive trip because of the location.
Oh, did she say it's her best friend getting married?
A good friend.
Good friend. I think it's totally okay to say I can't go because I'm not there financially.
Okay.
I just think, okay, so you're getting married. Obviously, say I'm the bride, I'm going to do everything I want to do because it's the only time I'm getting married,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah.
One time I'm getting married.
I
I'm
think
going
that's
to do
totally
everything
fair.
I want to do,
That's one
right?
thing that I say to all my brides. I'm like,
Do
forget
what you want.
Do what you want. Forget what your mum, your dad, your
Yeah,
friends say.
whatever's right or wrong,
Whatever's
just do
right,
it.
just do whatever you
Like,
want.
if you want to do it, do it.
Yeah.
That's our phrase this episode. If you want to do it, do it. It's not that difficult. So, you want to do what you want to do, right? Organise everything, yacht trip, bottomless brunch, I don't care, do it. But you have to then expect some people might not be able to afford it and they might not be there financially.
Okay. I think it's nice, but it's also, you want your friends to come.
Yeah, that's the thing. You either change it to accommodate people that can't afford as much,
Or you accept that people can't come.
or you accept they can't come. It is
Okay, I have another scenario.
Go. I
My-
love a story.
My friend, 28, is getting married to her long distance boyfriend, 28 also, of 6 months. Married already after 6 months.
Jeez.
That sounds Indian.
Already red flag.
Is it?
6 months.
Is it?
You don't know someone after 6 months. They can be a serial killer, for real.
Yeah, you
People
are
have
right.
bodies
But
in
you
the
know, it's
closet.
normal for me to hear that people get married. People get engaged and get married a week later.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that an assisted marriage? Or just
A
they've just happened to find that person a week later?
Actually, a bit of both. One of my friends who I used to work with, not a colleague, a friend,
Okay.
she met her husband on a conference.
Mhm.
And then the only time they dated was when they went on holiday together because she was living in a different country and he was living in the UK. And so they met each other 4 or 5 times
Yeah.
and they were talking for a couple of months and then they got married.
That's cute.
Only because they wanted to be together. And now they're together, like, still. And it's been, I think 10, 12 years.
I do love a love story like that.
Going back to the story, for background, I live in a city about 16-hour drive away.
Okay.
However, the groom also lives in a different city from both myself and the bride. She will be getting married on her groom's farm in a different state, about 6 hours from me. A couple of days later, all shit breaks loose when the bride's first list of requirements emerge in the group chat.
Oh gosh.
Number 1, makeup and hair must be professionally done and paid for by bridesmaids.
Oh no.
£200 for both. Number 2, you must purchase nude flats and you cannot wear heels, roughly around £30 to £50. Here are the links. I am worried that the groom and myself will look shorter if you wear heels. How do you feel about that?
Girl, height doesn't mean nothing.
Really?
Okay? Height doesn't mean
No,
shit.
but not at the height of the bride. I mean, she doesn't want her friends to be taller than her in the
No,
picture.
that's ridiculous.
I think it's ridiculous.
She doesn't want her friends to be taller than her at her own wedding.
Yeah.
Why's better?
I think the photos, they want them all to look the same
Oh,
height.
same height.
You must wear jewellery of my choice. To be fair, she would say that it would be borrowed gift to us. What does borrowed gift mean?
Borrowed gift. A gift is you get it and you keep it. Borrowed is you're giving that back.
She just said it will be a borrowed gift to you once you decide what look I'm going for.
So I'm borrowing it to you. Give it back to me at the end. That's definitely borrowing, but she's trying to make it out like it's a gift.
I don't know.
That's not a present. At the end of the wedding, she'll go, "Can I have my jewellery back, please?"
Yeah, that's what I think she's saying.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand. Nails must be bare or in a mauve colour as she selected for the dress.
That's what, £50
Yeah.
for gels?
Yeah.
And toes. If your toes right in the heels, that's £100 for that.
That is £100, which you have to pay for. The dress must be from a local boutique, 16-hour drive or a 3-hour plane flight away from me, and it must be floor length with straps. The boutique doesn't ship, but my sister is picking it up on the way and sending over photos. I text her explaining that I'm travelling for the wedding and I'm happy to pay for the accommodation, airfare, and for the dress. But if she's requiring professional hair and makeup and non-heeled shoes, she should pay for the extra things she wants. I explained that I'm happy to pay for the usual things, but my budget wouldn't allow for professional hair and makeup and new shoes. She said she would speak to the groom. Sorry, I'm going to have to edit out my stutter. She said she would speak to the groom about me allowing to stay on the farm property, but makeup was non-negotiable. Fast forward to today, she texts me and says she will go back on the offer she made to me. She will go back on the offer. You know what? This is written really badly. That's why I can't read it. Oh. Fast forward to today again. She texts me to say she will go back on the offer and she will let me stay on the farmhouse for the night of the wedding. But she's reserved an Airbnb in the city for £200 a night. She will only be paying for the night prior to the wedding, and the guests have to pay for the night of the wedding. The friend politely declined and said she would go and find other accommodation in the city. And she asked if there would be anyone to transport her back to the city because there's no cabs or no public transport. And the bride came back and said there's no transportation. The only way that she can get back to her hotel is if she stays in the Airbnb and pays her £200. She said, otherwise, you can bring a tent or you can figure it out yourself.
Fuck off. Bring a tent.
Bring a tent.
Bring a tent. That is insulting. What, she's going to pitch up a tent on that bloody farm and then get her hair and makeup done? Imagine going MUA. The MUA's like, where are you? I need to do your hair and makeup. Oh, I'm just in the tent, like, behind that tree. Yeah, can you come here? Just do my makeup quick.
Could you believe that she said that?
It's not Reading Festival, darling.
Oh, my God.
That's shocking. That's actually wild.
That's really rude,
Firstly...
Okay, let's go back on the prices.
Yeah, let's go back.
Makeup and hair must be professionally done and paid for by the bridesmaid. Who pays for the
No, bride pays for hair and makeup.
What does the bride pay for the bridesmaid?
I think the bride should pay for the hair and makeup, their dress, their heels.
I think normally what I've seen from weddings, the bride usually pays for the dress, the hair and makeup, and the jewellery, like little studs or something, just because it's so... if you've got something similar, like I've got my own standard studs here. If somebody wants studs, I'll be like, I've got my own.
So as a bride, I think jewellery, I'd be like, wear your own jewellery. As long as it's not like, so see this, I've got like all these colours. I'd be like, probably not that. But just any gold or silver, minimal jewellery.
That's reasonable to be flexible.
Yeah, I wouldn't need to give that out. Like, I'd be like, just wear that.
Yeah. How much creative control do you think the bride has over the bridesmaid's look?
Obviously, I'm going to tell you the dress to wear. Actually, no, like, I would do it with the bridesmaids. I'd say, maybe this is the colour or this is the fabric I'm going for.
I love you how you say maybe, but you mean this is the dress.
This is it. This is it. If you don't fucking like it, fuck off. No, I'd be like, this is the vibe. Do you like it? Because everyone's body shapes are different. Come on. I'm not going to put someone in a dress that they're going to feel uncomfortable in. The most important thing is your bridesmaid feels comfortable in the outfit.
Oh, 100%.
So I would say what you're thinking, this is the fabric, this is the colour, what style do you like?
Oh, that's so considerate. I think that's the perfect way to do it. And honestly, I think a lot of brides do that with their bridesmaids. Yeah. But some people are just like, no, this is the shape I want to have on my wedding day. But I think...
Because no one's body's the same.
Yeah, fair enough. I think length should be the bride's choice.
Yeah.
Maybe like she can give options on the length.
Yeah.
But I think neckline or shape of the dress should be down
bridesmaid,
to the bridesmaid.
True. Yeah. And then shoes, it obviously depends on the outfit, but you
I
probably
don't think shoes should be gifted. Well, in our culture, if you give shoes, it's bad luck, so...
Oh, okay.
I also quite
But not
like it when
that
people are
same.
like a little bit different, because it kind of adds
Same.
dimension to the photo.
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
makes a bit different and it shows people's personality. Like, if
Yeah.
I've got a friend that's really indie and, like, has a lot of piercings, whatever, as long as it looks cute, I'll be
Yeah.
like, go for it. Like,
Yeah,
that's
of
your
course.
vibe. Do you know what I mean? What I think is unfair is if you are paying for your own accommodation as a bridesmaid or a guest,
Yeah.
you should be able to choose where you're staying.
Oh, yeah.
But this woman has made it like, you have to stay here, it's £200 a night. But what if you can afford that?
Again, you can't expect people to. If you want people to
No.
stay in a certain place, you pay for them.
What do you think about, like, annual leave, right? Because that's another thing. I've heard hen dos that are like 7 days. I've heard of hen dos that are 7 days.
Like on
Matching
yachts,
outfits,
on
yeah.
beaches.
But
on
imagine your
rooftop
annual
clubs.
leave, you get what, like 24 days, 28 days annual leave a year?
Really?
Yeah, that's what it's like in this corporate world.
I used to be in corporate. But my
28
annual
days.
leave, I think it was 32, and then we used to get day in lieu for doing bank holidays.
28 is like the average.
Is it?
Yeah. So imagine you've got 28, you're
Ugh.
doing your own holidays in summer.
I say
and then you
yuck,
have to take
but then I don't
7.
actually take holidays off. Lol.
Lol. But then imagine you've got your 28 days and now you have to take 7 off for someone's hen do. It's not even the wedding yet.
Yeah.
Like, that's intense.
All my brides have been so considerate. One even had 17 bridesmaids. I know.
I was
And
about to
she
say,
got-
what do you think's like too many bridesmaids?
I
Too
don't
many
know,
little?
but you know when she told me I have 17 bridesmaids, my jaw dropped to the floor. Obviously, I didn't show her that it dropped to the floor. I was just like, oh, that's lovely. But then I saw it on the day, and they were all dressed in the same outfit,
Okay.
the same cut. Like,
Yeah.
it was all Indian, like top and skirt.
Yeah.
And they had the chunni draped, which is the material that's draped over the shoulder.
Yeah.
They had them in, like, I think they were slightly different colours, or if it was the lighting off. But honestly, each one of them looked fantastic. They all had different body
Really?
shapes. They all looked
Love
really nice. They all
that.
had their own hair and makeup done in their own styles. Nobody had anything too much. It was all like cohesive.
That's really nice.
Really, really nice.
Yeah.
Super
But I
nice.
think, I don't know, I think too many bridesmaids, like, is there going to be conflicts there when it comes to the hen do? Are too many people going to be like, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, I'd rather not. Oh, I can't afford that. Blah, blah, blah. Too many conflicts. If the bridesmaids are organising the hen do,
Yeah.
imagine you've got the bridesmaid, then you've got the hen party.
What's a hen party?
So, like, the bridesmaids, you'd have maybe, let's say 6
Yeah.
or 8. But then the hen parties, the other people you're inviting to the hen. So you might have, like,
What?
yeah, you might have like 20 people to your hen, but there's only 6 of them are the bridesmaids.
Oh, so the hen party is just for the hen. It's not like there's a hen party
No,
at the wedding.
no.
Okay, got it,
It's
I got
for the
confused.
hen do, but I'm
Okay.
saying, like, you might not just have your 6 bridesmaids, for example, at your hen. You might want extended people as well.
Yeah. I think the only thing that people go wrong with at weddings when it comes to picking bridesmaids is that they don't realise that bridesmaids want to have fun as well. And they forget, some forget.
Because it's too
actually.
much of a duty.
A lot forget about their
Really?
duties on the day.
Yeah.
They're not good with their timings. They're late. They don't turn up.
One of them's in the corner throwing up.
Yeah,
You're like, girl, I need you
there'd
to help
been
me
so
cut the
many
cake.
Yeah, there'd been so many times where I'm going back for the second time. So when I do hair and makeup in the morning, then they do the wedding, then I go back for the afternoon, I get them ready for the reception. And I say, okay, I'm going to meet you at this time, but you'll probably need help undressing from your morning outfit because there's so many pins and everything.
Yeah.
Make sure there's somebody there to like help pack the stuff away so it's not cluttered all over the
Yeah.
room. Bridesmaid didn't show up. So not only was I undressing the bride, when she went into the shower, I had to fold all of her outfit and everything,
Stop.
put her jewellery away, organise it, take all the reception stuff out.
That's the
lay
thing,
that-
there's little bits like
Well,
that
I'm
you don't think
bridesmaid.
about. Yeah, that's
You
not
know,
your job.
Yeah, it's not my job, but you know what? You have to just suck it up and do
Yeah.
these things because it.
'Cause
is
there's no
about
time to
them.
think.
There's
You're
no
like,
time, you just
girl,
have to
this girl needs to
do.
get off. Like, let's do this.
Yeah, and you just can't add that extra stress to somebody else's day. But bridesmaids always. Sorry, they always fail on this. And I don't understand why bridesmaids can't be like groomsmen. Bridesmaids is always like something bitchy going on, or something's happening.
That's
or
what I'm
something-
saying. And imagine if you
groomsmen are
had
just like, yeah, they're having a great
They're
time.
just like, drink more. They're like, see it off. And the girls are there like,
yeah, I know. I did a bride recently, and her one of the groomsmen came to the shoot, and he was running around them with this like what do you call it? It's basically
oh, it's like a smoke,
it's
like a coloured
coloured
smoke.
smoke. He was running around them with the coloured smoke and creating like a little atmosphere for them. And that's like something the bridesmaids should be doing as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She had so many bridesmaids
Yeah.
and she had nobody there to like
Oh my God, to do that.
to do that. And the
And it's
groomsman
so
was there running
cute.
around. You know, when I first
Oh.
met him, I have to say I thought he was a planner. Which, another thing I think is totally underrated when it comes to wedding industries. People don't get planners.
I would definitely get a planner.
Or even a day
It's
coordinator.
too stressful.
It's too stressful.
It's true. On the day as well, you need a schedule. You can't
you
just be
do.
just randomly doing this.
Yeah.
No, it needs to be hour by hour, half an hour by half an hour, planning out what you're doing.
Still, people don't get planners.
It's so
these days.
stressful,
I don't understand why. It's
really.
stressful for me when I find out people don't have a planner because I end up being the planner.
Oh my god,
Like, there's so
girl,
many
you're good at your job.
God, yeah.
I mean, you go above and beyond. You're not just MUA stylist.
It's
You're
not. I'm like
planner,
fluffing people up as like
smoke runner.
I am smoke runner. I fluff them up so that I get them ready, and then I help them with their photo shoots because sometimes they want to put the junny on. Do you know what junny is?
No.
The junny's like that drapey thing that goes on the head.
Oh, lovely.
So sometimes they want to like have pictures like with the mum putting it on. So they'll do
Yeah.
that like 4 or 5 times.
What's the name? Educate me.
Yeah.
You know the jewellery, and it's like this round piercing
It's
in your
called-
nose, and it goes to your ear.
It's called a nut.
A nug.
Nath.
And what's like the history behind that? Like, why do a lot of people wear that on the wedding day?
Do
you know? I'm like, Google, explain to me, please.
The funny thing is, I wore one.
Did you? I love it. I think it's so pretty.
It's so pretty. But
I
I don't know
really
the
like
history
it.
behind it. I think it's just jewellery.
But it's just tradition, isn't it?
It's like a traditional look, but it's not something you have to have on your wedding day. There's so
Okay.
many brides who don't do it.
Do you know what? I love how colourful South Asian weddings are.
They're
like,
really colourful.
all the flowers. How many flowers must you get shipped in? So many.
So you have them at like the mandap. Do you know what a mandap is? They're basically where the wedding happens. So it's like a square kind of stage.
Okay.
thing.
Oh yes.
You know what
I think
I'm
I've seen
talking
that.
about.
Yeah.
And then it's got like flowers all over that.
Yeah,
Some
there's
people
like an
have flowers
archway
leading
or
up.
something. But I think they're so colourful, whereas a UK one is very obviously white dress,
I think
bridesmaid
that's so
colour, and then
nice.
it's very like suits, kind of dark suits.
Yeah.
It's a bit more plain.
I don't think it's plain. Like, look at Sophia Richie. She looks
Oh
stunning
my God,
on
stunning.
her wedding day.
I was so obsessed with that wedding. Every day I'm like, has she done a new TikTok yet? Like, unreal. And when they had the guy going, Sophia.
You know, there actually has to be a cut-off where people think about how not just the aesthetic, but like almost like making it too Instagrammy or making it too
that's true.
like.
Yeah.
They don't realise that they're taking away from enjoying themselves on the day.
That's what I'm saying. Do you know what? I'm also very fuck the traditions, wedding traditions.
Really?
Yeah. Just do what you want.
So
Like,
what do you
my
think about
parents-
people like, you know, who talk about how their mother-in-laws turn up in white dresses?
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
I've seen
No,
so
I
many.
If someone came in a white dress, I'd turn them away. Sorry.
You know, I went to a
That's
wedding.
just disrespectful.
I went to a wedding
Yeah.
once. It was a personal one, not a work one. And one of the guests. So Indian weddings are really flamboyant.
extravagant.
Extravagant is the word.
Slay.
And some people, they like to go all out and they like to wear like the latest designer. It's like going to Dior and buying a dress for some random wedding, right?
Okay.
We go to like Sabyasachi, we'll go to some other massive designer, Manish Malhotra.
Nice.
We'll pick out these these outfits, which are borderline bridal. I say people. Borderline bridal, and they will wear them to other people's weddings. So they don't know what the bride is wearing.
That's
'cause These days,
cheeky.
it's very cheeky. These days, brides don't just wear red. They wear like golds, ivories,
Yeah.
everything. So you don't know what the bride is wearing. We have something called a mendi party,
Okay.
a henna party.
Yes.
Yeah. So there, the bride normally wears something like fun and colourful and like something different that's not too bridal, but
Yeah.
something very fun. The bride comes in this really beautiful kind of like white kind of gold, really designed it was
Stunning.
beautiful. And then she had
Yeah.
like a really colourful skirt. But the top was like almost like a corset, kind of like structured. It was so
Okay.
stylish.
Yeah.
One woman, not even in the bridal party, not even in the family, not even in the close friends, she comes in the same top. And she stands there.
As the bride.
She didn't know the bride was wearing it. Okay, so what happens then? You don't know the bride is wearing something. You turn up to the event wearing the same top as the bride. What do you do?
Oh God.
You leave!
I'd say, do you have a change of top?
You leave!
As the bride, though, I'd say, either I would say, or if I'm really stressed that day, I'd say to my sister, I'd say,
Yeah.
you need to tell her to leave or change her top.
So that's what the bride did. The bride's sister went up to this guest and said, you have to leave.
That's
But
horrible.
I'm thinking, if I come to a
No.
wedding in
Yeah,
the same
myself.
top, I would...
Yeah.
I
if
would
I
make
was
an
the guest.
exit and get the hell out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing that.
No.
And if I don't have
so
anything else to
uncomfortable.
wear, I just won't attend the event.
Yeah,
or I'll
so
put
it's-
something else. There's
Or
nothing...
always bring a backup, especially if you're like staying over or whatever, you've gone somewhere
Yeah.
far. Bring a backup outfit, please.
And the thing with Indian weddings and Indian outfits in particular, you can style the drapage in any sort of way to cover anything.
Nice.
So I could basically
Okay.
wear a plain white tank and like a really nice skirt,
But style
and
it.
drape it in such a way so it doesn't
Nice.
look like I've
The
messed
same
up.
thing.
Exactly. But she stood there and waited for the sister of the bride to tell her to leave, and then she was pissed
So
off.
she
was
didn't
told-
voluntarily be like,
She
oh,
didn't
I'll get back
voluntarily
off.
leave. No, and then she was pissed off that she was asked to leave.
Sorry, but these are the rules, people.
Oh,
Even though I just said fuck all the rules.
You went so quickly.
But
from
what
fuck the rules to
I
this.
mean like traditional English ones. My parents are telling me there's a rule where like I think the woman is meant to stand on the right side or
Okay.
something, and the man, and I was like, no, because I need my good side. So I was like, fuck that, I'll be switching that around.
Yeah.
And then there's a rule where it's like, oh, the one like my side should sit on the left,
Yeah.
the groom side should sit on the right.
Right.
I think mix it in. So
the rhyme
cute.
is pick a seat, not a side. You are loved equally by the groom and bride.
That's so
How cute. I
That's
see that so
sweet.
often at
But
events.
that's the thing, like it's
At
not like
weddings.
no one knows each other.
Yeah.
The families are gonna know each other. Why can't you sit together?
Yeah.
Also, if that was the case of us sitting separate,
Yeah.
my family would be about 20 and his would be queuing out the door.
Stop.
There wouldn't be any seats left.
Stop.
And that'd be embarrassing. It looked like I'm Billy No Mates. So no thanks. Let's mix it
Aw.
in. But also it's just I don't see why it has to be so regimented. Like mix it in.
What is one thing that you think is quite tacky at a wedding?
For starters, this isn't like super tacky, but this is something I do not like.
Okay.
I do not like, you've definitely never experienced this, lucky you, bland English food
Really?
at a wedding. No.
What is
no,
bland
not
English
having
food
it.
at a wedding?
So, luckily, the one wedding I've been to, my cousin's one, stunning food, beautiful, loved it. Other
What was
one
it?
wasn't so great. So I'm saying bland English food is you get there, you sit down ready for your nice meal, you're starving because you've been there all day.
Yeah.
You're also there to get fucked up. Like, I'm at this wedding, I'm ready to get pissed, okay?
Yeah.
I need a substantial meal so that I can drink a lot and I'm not going to throw up. If I don't eat and
Yeah.
drink, I'm going to throw up. So I need like a good hearty meal, get me going, but no food coma.
What
so I
is
can have a
English
dance.
wedding food?
Well, you sit down, there's a piece of chicken, a broccoli and 2 potatoes. No. Like,
What?
that's not enough. Yeah, some of these meals are awful. I've seen pictures. It'll be like salt and pepper seasoned chicken, boiled, like carrots and broccoli.
I'm sorry,
It's
we're talking about prison
disgusting.
food.
It's giving Fire Festival.
Oh
it's
my
awful.
God.
No, seriously, it's so bad. Like, I need nice food. I want like a nice. Do you like potato dauphinoise?
What?
That's stunning. Potato
what?
dauphinoise.
No, I don't know what are you talking
It's
about?
French. It's like potatoes, like layered potatoes in like cream and cheese. Oh, probably because you can't have dairy. Think of
I
like
love
a
how you laugh
mac
at
and
me. Do you know-
cheese,
yeah.
mac and cheese, but potato instead of pasta.
Ooh,
Like that, it's really
sounds
good. You love
nice.
it.
Okay,
Like
right.
a nice steak or like pull apart beef. Do you know, like really
Ooh.
soft beef?
Yeah.
Maybe like a nice gravy, like something like that.
You sit down for your reception or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you go straight into dinner.
Yeah, you'd have like they give you wine first. You probably have 20 minutes of just wine going round
What?
because we're getting
go.
on it.
Yeah.
And then starter, chit chat, main, chit chat,
Okay.
dessert. Then during dessert will be speeches.
Okay.
Then party, an hour before you need to bring more food, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because people are hungry.
Yeah.
Best idea, pizza food truck.
Yeah.
But nice, I'm not having Pizza Hut Domino's, no
Yeah.
thanks. I'm talking like a nice
don't like Pizza
sourdough,
Hut?
cute. Not for a wedding, that's tacky.
Yeah. Okay.
Pizza Hut at a wedding, that's tacky.
I went to a wedding once and at midnight they brought out McDonald's.
Do you know
They had
what?
like chicken nuggets everywhere.
That's
and
not even
fries
tacky.
everywhere.
Because
Oh,
if
I
you're
don't think it
drunk.
was tacky. I thought it was cute.
Yeah,
I just
no,
thought-
because I was thinking, is that tacky? No.
You think
When
so?
you're drunk as fuck,
Yeah, that's
I
what
want a
you
McDonald's.
That's what you want.
I want some nuggets. I want my little McCrispy, and I want to get it in and then go off.
So I came across this story. I was recently married to my childhood sweetheart. Pretty small due to COVID, but it was planned well in advance, so we didn't cancel. We just kept it a family, and we planned to have a party with everyone else at a later date.
Cute.
So for some background, on my husband, his parents had him pretty young, 18 and 19, and he's very close family.
Aww.
Our wedding reception was quite intimate. We had the traditional speeches planned. It was only the day before that my mother-in-law asked if she could have a mic to say a few words when we sat down to eat.
I think I know where this is going.
And we said, that would be great.
Yay!
Stupidly, we figured she would talk about us at our wedding, so we never asked what she planned to say. Big mistake. She announced that she was expecting a baby. Is that what you thought?
No, I thought
Okay.
it was going to be she spoke for like 45 minutes and they were all like, hurry up.
No, she
Wait, the
announced
mum?
her pregnancy. The mother of the groom announced her pregnancy at the wedding.
Now that's tacky.
She's still pretty young and very healthy, so it was a huge shock that completely took over the whole night. What's even worse for me is that I'm also pregnant. And
This took a turn.
And we planned to announce it at the wedding.
Stop now.
But I told my husband just to leave it out of the speech because I wasn't sure if I wanted to share that and
no,
take over the night.
not 2 in one day. That's too much.
I think they had organised to include it in the speech, but she took it out last minute. Just from what?
But we can't have 2 baby announcements. That's too much.
But I don't think she knew that the mother was going to announce that.
Yeah, I know. But
Oh
on
my
the
God, how
day, you'd have to be
crazy.
like, cut that quick.
Yeah. Everything felt a bit sour for me after that. I didn't speak to my mother-in-law after the wedding for a few days, and I got a call from her sister asking me what was up. I explained what the situation was and that the attention was taken away from us without our permission, and it was unfair to spring that on us. How do you feel?
Shocked.
That's crazy, isn't it?
So they just got married. Like, that's stealing their thunder massively.
Apparently, I ruined my own wedding because I was obviously pissed off about the good news and that I was being totally selfish.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I was, but it was my wedding day and it was already ruined by a pandemic.
Feels bad.
I know. How can you do that?
No,
that is what
sorry.
I find tacky. That was the only thing I would
That's
say.
so
is super
tacky.
Is when you make announcements or even when people get engaged at weddings.
Are you mad? It's literally saying you've come there to celebrate this one couple.
Yeah.
And you are trying to find a way to put the attention on you, 100%.
But why don't people see it like that?
There's a time and a place. Could she not have waited a couple of days after?
I
got the
know.
family. I bet her reasoning was, it's the only time all the family was together, like I wanted to tell them. But that's 100% stealing the attention away. It's your wedding day. This is the only time you're getting married. Like, you know, you never know. But it's your day. It's about this couple. You're celebrating this couple.
So they actually updated the story and they had confronted the mother-in-law and the father-in-law. The father-in-law apologised. The mother-in-law was sobbing. Eventually, the husband told her that he would be really happy. He was really happy about the baby, but she should have asked the couple if that's what she wanted to talk about. And the mother-in-law pointed at the bride and said she wouldn't have let me. So she knew exactly what she was doing.
There's some deep-rooted issues here that need to be sorted.
Do you know what that means?
What?
There was some tea at the wedding.
Some chai at the wedding.
Some tea. Suck on that tea.
True.